When you think of elections, the common idea is that the winner takes it all. But in Singapore, things are a little different. Here, the concept of electing the loser might sound like a twist on the usual political narrative, but it's all part of a carefully crafted system designed to keep the country running smoothly. It's one of those things that leaves people scratching their heads at first, but once you understand how it works, it makes a lot of sense. In this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating and unique system Singapore uses in its elections. So sit tight as we explore why Singapore elects the loser and how this unusual system actually benefits the country and its people. Chapter 1. The Single-Member Constituency System. Singapore's electoral system operates under the Single-Member Constituency (SMC) model, where each voting district elects only one representative to the parliament. This setup is relatively simple. Eligible voters in each constituency cast their vote for the candidate they believe will best represent their interests in the national legislature. However, what sets Singapore's system apart is its inclusion of the losers in the political process. Under the SMC system, while the candidate with the most votes wins the seat, the losing candidates are not completely shut out of the conversation. In fact, they play an important role in shaping the political landscape. This is a deliberate choice by the government to encourage strong competition and avoid the monopolization of power by a single party or individual. Instead of leaving losing candidates with no influence, Singapore ensures that differing ideas and alternative policies continue to be part of national discussions. Even though these losing candidates do not hold elected positions in parliament, their ideas and platforms often serve as a check on the ruling party's policies. This system encourages a healthy exchange of views, creating a space for debate, criticism, and innovation. It also helps avoid a one-sided government, where the winner might ignore the concerns of the opposition, ensuring that a broader range of ideas is reflected in the policymaking process. Thus, Singapore's electoral system is carefully designed to foster competitive, diverse, and balanced governance, where even the losers still have a meaningful influence. Chapter 2. The role of the Non-Constituency Member of Parliament. In Singapore, the loser you're hearing about isn't just left out of the political process. They can still hold significant sway in shaping government decisions through a position known as the Non-Constituency Member of Parliament, NCMP. This role is specifically designed for losing candidates who receive the highest votes in their respective districts, allowing them a seat in Parliament despite not winning their electoral race. The introduction of the NCMP system in 1984 was a game changer. Initially created as a way to give minority voices a platform in Niurism, Singapore's parliament, the system allows for the representation of alternative views, even if a candidate didn't win the seat. Unlike many democratic systems where only the winning candidate enters parliament, Singapore's system acknowledges that the second highest vote getter still has important perspectives and contributions to offer. This ensures that voices which may be unpopular or in opposition to the ruling party are still heard and considered during legislative discussions. Over time, the NCMP system has evolved to include a specific number of seats reserved for non-elected candidates, ensuring that a variety of viewpoints are consistently represented. The appointment of NCMPs helps strike a balance between maintaining a strong, stable government and embracing a diverse set of opinions. This unique system prevents any one party from dominating, allowing for a more inclusive approach to policymaking. Though NCMPs do not represent a specific constituency, they hold full voting rights in Parliament, allowing them to contribute to debates, propose laws, and influence key decisions that affect the entire country. In this way, the NCMP role is vital in ensuring that alternative perspectives are factored into Singapore's governance. Chapter 3. Why is this system beneficial? At first glance, the idea of a losing candidate still having a seat in Parliament might seem unusual, even counterintuitive. However, when you dig deeper, you'll see how this system benefits Singapore's democracy in several crucial ways. Diverse representation. One of the key strengths of this system is that it ensures multiple perspectives are represented in the government. Even if a candidate doesn't win, their ideas and policies, which may have resonated with a significant portion of the population, don't get shut out. This system provides a platform for ideas that might not dominate the race, but still have enough support to influence public policy. By bringing diverse viewpoints into the conversation, Singapore's government avoids becoming too one-sided, which could alienate portions of the population and limit the scope of policymaking. Preventing dominance. Without a system like the Non-Constituency Member of Parliament (NCMP) role, a single party could completely dominate the legislative process. This would reduce political competition and could lead to stagnation, where innovation and change are minimal. By giving losing candidates a chance to join the parliament, the system ensures that no party can hold unchecked power. This introduces a healthy level of competition that keeps the political system dynamic and responsive to the needs of the people. Stability. While it might seem odd to allow those who didn't win a seat to participate in the governing process, this actually contributes to political stability. The presence of voices from both sides of the political spectrum in Parliament encourages thorough debate. More perspectives mean that policies are more carefully considered, resulting in decisions that reflect a wider array of interests and lead to more balanced, well-rounded solutions. This fosters a government that is both resilient and inclusive, offering long-term stability by ensuring that all voices are heard, even those in the minority. By encouraging a balance of ideas and preventing domination by one side, this system promotes a more inclusive, competitive, and stable political environment that ultimately benefits all of Singapore. Chapter 4. How does this work in practice? In practice, the Non-Constituency Member of Parliament, NCMP, plays a significant role in Singapore's legislative process. Even though NCMPs are losing candidates who didn't win a specific electoral district, they are still given an opportunity to contribute meaningfully to the country's governance. Once appointed, an NCMP is granted full voting rights on most parliamentary issues. This means that, despite not representing a specific constituency, they can participate in all major decisions affecting the country. This provides them with a level of influence similar to that of an elected member of parliament, MP, but without the responsibility of answering to a particular group of voters. However, it's important to note that an NCMP does not hold exactly the same powers as an elected MP. For instance, NCMPs do not have the right to represent a constituency, nor can they introduce bills concerning the allocation of resources for their districts. But they can still voice their opinions, contribute to debates, and propose legislative changes that can significantly influence government policies. An NCMP's presence ensures that policies reflect a broader range of viewpoints, not just those from the ruling party or the winning candidates. By actively participating in parliamentary discussions, NCMPs help to create a more inclusive political environment. Their participation guarantees that minority opinions are brought to the forefront, preventing any potential disenfranchisement of groups that might otherwise be overlooked in the election process. Thus, the NCMP system allows for a greater diversity of ideas and perspectives within the Singaporean Parliament, ensuring a more balanced and reflective governance that better represents the interests of the nation as a whole. Chapter 5. The Benefits for Singaporeans. The Non-Constituency Member of Parliament (NCMP) system brings a range of benefits to Singapore, contributing to a more inclusive, balanced, and accountable political environment. Here's how it positively impacts the country and its citizens. More accountability. One of the greatest strengths of having both winning and losing candidates in Parliament is the increased accountability it fosters. When losing candidates, or NCMPs, are included in the decision-making process, it becomes harder for any one party or candidate to dominate without scrutiny. The NCMPs serve as a check and balance, ensuring that the government remains accountable to a wider range of voices and does not become complacent or out of touch with the needs of the people. This mechanism helps maintain the integrity of the political system and encourages more responsible governance. Wider perspective. Singapore's success as a thriving, dynamic society lies in its ability to include diverse perspectives in policymaking. The NCMP system ensures that even those who didn't win a seat still have an opportunity to shape the country's future. By allowing candidates with alternative views to participate, the system injects fresh ideas and policy suggestions into the national conversation. This diversity of thought can lead to more innovative solutions and a more comprehensive approach to solving the nation's challenges. It also prevents any single ideological stance from dominating the conversation, enriching Singapore's policy landscape with a variety of insights. Greater voter engagement. Knowing that their votes for non-winning candidates are not in vain fosters a greater sense of engagement among Singaporean voters. Citizens are more likely to participate in the democratic process when they see that their voices, even in the form of a second-place vote, still matter. This encourages higher voter turnout, as people understand that their input can make a difference even if they're not voting for a winning candidate. As a result, the system enhances representation and strengthens the democratic foundation of Singapore society, leading to a more engaged and active electorate. In sum, the NCMP system benefits Singaporeans by ensuring accountability, bringing in wider perspectives, and encouraging greater voter engagement. This leads to a more inclusive and responsive government that works for the collective good of all its citizens. Chapter 6. What makes this different from other countries? In most democracies around the world, elections are relatively straightforward. The candidate who receives the most votes in a district wins the seat, and the losing candidates typically fade into the background. Their role is largely over once the results are in. However, Singapore's approach to elections is different, and in many ways it stands out as a model of inclusivity and democratic innovation. What sets Singapore apart is that losers in elections aren't just sidelined. Instead, they have an opportunity to shine in Parliament through the role of Non-Constituency Members of Parliament, NCMPs. These losing candidates, particularly those who receive the second highest votes, are given the chance to participate in legislative discussions, vote on bills, and contribute to the policymaking process. This is in stark contrast to many other democratic systems where only the winners have a say in the country's governance. This unique approach reflects Singapore's forward-thinking political system. While most countries focus solely on electing winners, Singapore gives significant weight to the voices of those who didn't win a seat. The idea is that even candidates who lose an election may have important ideas and feedback that are valuable to the nation's governance. By including them in the parliamentary process, Singapore ensures that alternative views are heard, fostering a more dynamic and robust political debate. In essence, this system encourages broader participation and strengthens the health of the democracy. It's a commitment to ensuring that all citizens, not just the ones who voted for the winning candidates, have a voice in shaping the future of the country. This system highlights Singapore's focus on a balanced, inclusive, and forward-looking political framework, making it a model for other nations to consider. Chapter 7. The Future of Singapore's Electoral System. As Singapore continues to grow and evolve, so too will its electoral system. While the Non-Constituency Member of Parliament, NCMP system, has proven to be a successful innovation, the future of this system is not set in stone. As the country faces new challenges, both domestically and globally, it is likely that the system will adapt to meet the changing needs of Singapore's democracy. However, one thing is certain: the core principles of the NCMP system, diversity and balance in the legislature, will likely remain at the heart of any future reforms. Singapore's political landscape is in a constant state of flux, influenced by factors such as population growth, technological advancements, and the increasing complexity of global issues. These changes could lead to adjustments in the electoral system to ensure that it remains responsive and effective. The NCMP system, as a means of broadening representation and giving voice to minority perspectives, has proven to be a key mechanism for maintaining a balanced and inclusive government. As Singapore faces new challenges, it's possible that the number of NCMPs, the criteria for their selection, or the scope of their powers might evolve to better reflect the country's needs. That said, the underlying goal of the NCMP system will likely remain intact: to ensure that Singapore's legislature continues to reflect a diverse range of ideas. By keeping the voices of those who may not win an electoral seat, but who still represent significant portions of the population, Singapore's government can continue to be a dynamic and inclusive entity, able to respond to the needs of all citizens. In this way, the future of Singapore's electoral system will likely be one of continuous adaptation, while always maintaining its commitment to balanced representation and democratic participation. Conclusion: Singapore's unique approach to elections, where even the losing candidates have a chance to serve in Parliament, might seem unusual at first, but It's a carefully designed system that benefits the country in several important ways. By ensuring that diverse views are represented, even from those who don't win their district, Singapore has created a balanced, fair, and effective political environment. This approach ensures that different voices, including those from the opposition, are given a platform to influence policy and decision-making. This system, with its ability to bring in the losers, prevents the government from becoming stagnant or too one-sided. It encourages healthy debate, fosters innovation, and helps maintain the stability of the nation by allowing multiple perspectives to shape the country's future. So the next time you hear about Singapore electing the loser, just remember, it's not really about losing, it's about making sure that everyone has a seat at the table, regardless of the election outcome. What makes this system truly stand out is its commitment to inclusivity, something that helps Singapore maintain a dynamic and representative democracy. In fact, it's a model that other countries could learn from to create more inclusive and diverse political environments. By understanding why Singapore elects the loser, it becomes clear that sometimes those who don't win are the ones who help make the country stronger. So if you ever find yourself in Singapore, you'll now understand why their system works and why it may be a key factor in their continued success. So the next time you hear about Singapore electing the loser, just remember, it's not really about losing. It's about making sure that everyone has a seat at the table, no matter the outcome of the election. This system embodies Singapore's commitment to a more inclusive and responsive democracy, where every voice counts and no perspective is left behind.